My name is Marie and I'm an ITU nurse. I'm going to show you how to set up the high flow nasal oxygen. For this demonstration, COVID precautions were maintained throughout with 2 meters at all times. The equipment. We have the drip stand on which the sterile water will hang. Oxygen flow meter, measuring the flow and the oxygen, which is different to the ones on the wall in normal ITU because they are in increments of 10, allowing a higher flow. Oxygen pipe that goes to the mains oxygen on the wall, and then the machine itself. So this is the AirVO2. It has one hot plate on which the water is humidified to allow better ventilation and oxygenation for the patient for gas exchange. We have an on-off button, an alarm silence button, and then up and down, and then a play button. The oxygen tubing is connected on here and then to the patient. It has its own self-disinfectant mechanism, which takes 55 minutes. After every patient, the machine must be disinfected, and this is done by attaching two ends onto the machine and pressing start, and it will do 55 minutes. Below you have a basket in which to hold the consumables. The equipment I'm going to use is about 1 litre sterile water for irrigation, to be double checked by another nurse. I'm going to use the OptiFlow high flow nasal prongs, which comes in 3 different sizes, small, medium and large. I'm going to use oxygen tubing, and then I'm going to use the heated breathing tube and chamber kit, of which the expiry dates have been checked on them all. So, set up the machine. So it's being disinfected. I'm going to remove the disinfectant tube, which is a lift up of the slit here, pull it off, pull the base out here, and keep it with the equipment in the bottom. And then pull out the prong here, put that in the bottom as well. So set up a water chamber. Take away the bits of parts that are keeping it clean and just to maintain its shape and integrity. So the chamber itself, there is a tube that goes into the sterile water, which is at the back, but rests gently forward into the groove here. And then I have the prongs here. So I'm going to push down the blue lever at the front, slide the chamber in about halfway before I attach my prongs, making sure the line is down here in front of them. Prongs go on one way, the wider base goes there, and then the whole thing just slips in until you hear an audible click. I'm now going to attach my sterile water, hanging it from the drip stand here, inserting into here, which now means the sterile water automatically drains down into the chamber of my dehumidifier. My next part will be to connect my oxygen onto the machine, between the machine and the mains, so onto the flow meter here, and then just on the side here is another port just to the right here. Now I need to connect my main heated breathing tube, which again only connects in one way. This clip here goes onto the top until you hear an audible, quiet audible click. Onto the end of my tube, I'm going to connect my high flow nasal oxygen, another audible click, and just hang it over the side with the strap here ready to go. So now we are set up. We have oxygen going to the flow meter and the machine, a sterile water. We have water in the humidifier, which can be visible, all we need to do is turn it on. So the on-off button at the top. So the advantage of high flow nasal oxygen. The benefit of them is when it is at a flow of 50, there is a peak of 5 for as long as the patient's mouth is closed. This just aids the respiration and helps the alveoli to keep their expansion whilst the patient has gone from being extubated through the recovery process and a weaning process. The machine here can deliver 50 litres at up to 95% of humidified oxygen, and the optimum temperature for this is 37 degrees, which helps the filtration into the lungs, and of course is a natural body temperature and just helps with respiration. Initially, when a patient goes straight from extubation onto high flow oxygen, it's good to try and put them on 50 litres and 50% FiO2. From then, when the patient's comfortable, the oxygen can be titrated to their requirements, and Paykel say 92% and above is an ideal saturation for this machine. Of course, it's patient dependent and history dependent. When weaning a patient off high flow nasal oxygen, it's really important that the oxygen is weaned first. This is because at 50 litres you get a peak of 5, and as soon as you start reducing the flow, the peak is then reduced. So by reducing the oxygen requirements down until you get to 50 to 60% according to the Paykel website, or 40% in our trust, we can then start knocking the flow down slowly.
There's an audible alarm that can be heard when the sterile water has finished.
It doesn't alarm when it's low, it alarms when the plate is not receiving any water and the temperature is incorrect, which causes great discomfort for the patients. Therefore, it's really important on the hourly checks that the amount of sterile water is done in the bag.
We're going to use the AirVO2 app for demonstration on how to work the settings on this machine. I'm using the app so that you can learn how to use the machine and the app at the same time.
Temperature, that's the first thing I need to change. I want a temperature of 37 degrees. So I'm going to press the play button, and then I'm going to press the up and down buttons for 5 or so seconds. It then flashes white, and I'm going to put the temperature up to 37 degrees, which is the optimum temperature for humidification. I'm going to confirm that by pressing the play arrow, and press it again to go on to the next setting, which is the flow. So I want a flow of 50 litres per minute to give a peak of 5. Press and hold together for 5 seconds. Flashes white. I'm going to increase that to 50 and press OK. And on to the next screen, which is the FiO2. So this would be changed and titrated to on the actual flow meter on the machine, but on the app here you can use the word oxygen and change the percentage here. There we go, and I'm going to press confirm. There we go, everything is now set up. This equipment can be used for the same patient as many times as necessary, and then when it's finished it gets disposed of and the cleaning equipment goes on. So to dispose of it and to turn the machine off, I'm going to press the off button. I'm going to remove all of the disposable pieces of equipment, which will then be thrown away. Now that I've finished with the machine, I'm going to now disinfect it. It's very simple. All I need to do is clip on one end, slide down the cuff, insert this into the other side. There are 2 options. One has got a valve and one hasn't got a valve. It only goes into the one with the valve. And then I have the bung that goes into the other side, and it will only go into that side. I then turn the machine on, and it will automatically detect the tubing and start 55-minute disinfectant.